what is really happening behind the scene in South Sudan, the peace process. Right now, a serious political conflict is unfolding between the government of South Sudan and the peace monitoring body, also known as the Reconstituted Joint Monitoring and Evaluation Commission. The Minister of Justice, Michael McWillis, has openly accused this body of blocking progress. And the government has now decided to move forward without it. This is not a small issue. This decision could reshape the future of the peace agreement itself. So, in this video, we are going to break it down. What exactly happened? Why the government bypassed RJMEC? And what does this mean for peace in South Sudan? So first, what is the peace agreement? To understand this situation, we need to go back to the 2018 peace deal, officially known as the Revitalized Peace Agreement on the resolution of the conflict in South Sudan, that was signed between Dr. Riek Machar and President Salva Kiir Mayardit. This disagreement, or we can say this agreement, was meant to end year of civil war. It created a unity government. It created power sharing arrangement. It also created security reform and a roadmap toward stability. But there is one major weakness that McQuay pointed out. The agreement does not include a clear arbitration system. That means when this agreement happens, there is no final authority to settle them legally. Instead, this would go through dialogue, RJMEC, regional body like Intergovernmental Authority on Development, but none of these can enforce binding decision, and that is where the problem began. Let's look at McQuay's main argument. According to Michael McQuay, the peace agreement is fundamentally flawed. He said the agreement is originally defective. That is a strong statement. His argument is based on 3 key points. Number one is no dispute resolution system. McQuay believes this creates confusion and power struggle. Second, RJMEC is overstepping its role. He accused the interim chairperson, George Aggrey Owino, of acting like an arbiter instead of a monitor. Number three, delayed or blocking reform. The government under Salva Kiir Mayardit said it submitted amendment in January 2026. But RJMEC responded more than a month later with serious concern. McQuay sees this as obstruction, not consultation. So, what RJMEC is supposed to do? Let's be fair here. The role of Reconstituted Joint Monitoring and Evaluation Commission is not to control the agreement. Its job is to monitor implementation, ensure transparency, and facilitate dialogue between leaders. It is not supposed to make final decision, block amendment, or act like a court. So when RJMEC raises serious concern, the question becomes, were they doing their job or going too far? McQuay argued that they crossed the line. But critics might say they were protecting the integrity of the peace agreement. So, why the government bypass RJMEC? Now here is the turning point. After a week of frustration, the government made a bold move on April 16, 2026. The issue was taken to the Council of Ministers. A decision was made and it was unanimous. Move forward without RJMEC. That is huge. It means the government no longer trusts the monitoring body. And it believes the process is being delayed intentionally. So instead of waiting, they send the amendment directly to Parliament. This effectively cut RJMEC out of the process. So, is this legal or risk? Here is where things get complicated. According to the peace agreement, amendment must involve consultation and must include signatory parties. That humanitarian parties should be involved, but they were silenced by the government. So the big question is, can the government act alone without others' political leader? Michael McQueen argued that yes, because RJMEC is not an authority. But critics will argue this breaks the spirit of the agreement. It risks creating unilateral decisions. And in peace process, perception matter just as much as legality. If one side feel excluded, the entire agreement becomes fragile. So, what this means for South Sudan? This conflict is more than politics. It reveals a deeper issue: lack of trust between institutions. When the government distrusts RJMEC and RJMEC questions government action, the peace process weakens. But here are the possible outcomes. Number one is faster reform if government succeed. Second, political tension increase. Number three, opposition reject amendment. They look at the worst case. Peace agreement began to collapse. There will be no reply peace agreement. This is why this movement is critical. So, what we are seeing here, this is not just a disagreement. It is a power struggle over who control the peace process, who interpret the agreement, and who has the final say. Michael McQueen said RJMEC is blocking progress, but others may say the government is bypassing accountability. The two likely sit somewhere in between. One thing is clear: the future of the reply peace agreement on the resolution of the conflict in South Sudan is now under serious pressure. So, what do you think? Is the government right to move forward without RJMEC, or is this a dangerous step for peace? Drop your thought in the comment. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more deep analysis. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.